What's up everybody, this is Master EN Gamer, and holy moly, we almost certainly just got a new hero teaser. I am not joking, folks. This letter was just posted on the official Play Overwatch website and shared through Overwatch's various social media accounts, and what it is post for Toshiro Yamagami. This post is a letter from someone named Asa being sent to their husband Toshiro, and gives us a ton of backstory relating to the new Kanezaka deathmatch map, which from what we expect is supposed to be going to live servers tomorrow on Tuesday. But the amount of detail and the way this specifically alludes to certain characters and factions pretty blatantly, in my opinion, indicates that it's not just teasing the new map, which we of course already knew existed because since it was on the PTR for a while, and it's presumably again going live tomorrow, but also it seems to be indicating a new hero, and I'll be delving into that now. So this letter itself is actually pretty long. I'm not going to read it in its entirety here in this video. I will have it linked down in the description if you want to read it for yourself. But in it, basically, Asa just talks to her husband about the town of Kanezaka, which is of course the deathmatch map we're going to be getting, and talks about all the various locations and how the town overall is under the oppression of the Hashimoto, which is, from the sounds of it, a clan that has somehow replaced the Shimada clan? Based on the way Asa talks about the Hashimoto clan in this letter, it sounds like they're basically your expected Yakuza or gangster mob as they go around demanding money from all the different stores and businesses located in Kanezaka. For all intents and purposes, they seem to be the people sort of running the place, which seemingly stands in stark contrast to the idea of the Shimada clan, which, from what we'd known previously, seemed to fill this specific gangster role. However, Asa actually talks about the Shimada clan in a sort of past tense throughout this letter, thus suggesting that the Shimada clan, if it does still exist, doesn't really hold any power anymore. Just from a story standpoint, this almost seems to kind of contradict what we thought we knew about the clan prior to this letter being released, but that's sort of delving into the deep side lore of Genji and Hanzo, which isn't super relevant to this specific video. The thing I do want to focus more specifically on is the seemingly teased new hero. Now, as many of you already know, I made a video talking about all the evidence pointing towards a Fox Girl hero, which is teased not only on the Kanezaka map, but also from a specific article we got back during BlizzCon 2019, where they talked about silhouettes of different characters being shown, and one of them had a fox companion. If you aren't familiar with this, then I recommend checking out the video which I posted back when Kanezaka first hit the PTR. However, in this letter, which was just released, we actually learn more about what seems to be going on here. As I mentioned, Kanezaka is evidently suffering under the reign of the Hashimoto clan, and in this letter, Asa talks about how they keep demanding more and more money as time goes on. And then she mentions this specifically. Not even the most faithful dog could take such a beating without biting back, and the people of Kanezaka are great of heart. The demands upon the populace are increasing and tempers are rising. Missed payments are met with more vicious abuses, and now someone has given the Hashimoto further reason for anger. Over the past few months, shipments of Hashimoto contraband have gone missing. Their men have been badly beaten or robbed when returning from their rounds. Perhaps most boldly of all, messages painted in bright, conspicuous colors have started to appear, though they are quickly painted over. This very blatantly is alluding to a vigilante who's present in Kanezaka and seems to be fighting back against the Hashimoto clan. And considering that they're evidently the ones responsible for the graffiti we see on the map, it seems very likely that this is in fact the Fox Girl character we've, well, talked so much about. Now, another important thing to note about this letter is that multiple times Asa refers to her and Toshiro's daughter. Specifically towards the end, she mentions the children of this town growing to adulthood with only the brutal, thoughtless Hashimoto to determine what is good or bad, our daughter among them. It is dangerous in this city now. Asa very clearly mentions that her daughter is growing up in a tough, brutal environment, which seem to be the perfect conditions for them becoming, well, a fighter, or should I say, a hero. Furthermore, the name of the daughter is never actually mentioned throughout this entire letter, unless I've somehow overlooked something, which in my opinion, actually lends further credence to the idea that they're the new hero. Since this article is only building up to the new hero, Blizzard wouldn't want to reveal too much information about them, so their name is one of the things Blizzard has decided to keep hidden. That makes sense. Furthermore, a separate note, which I do think I should be noting here, is that Asa, the person writing this letter, is apparently a very talented swordswoman, and in fact trained both Genji and Hanzo. So this right here indicates that Asa and the overall family, including her daughter, does have some notable ties to the Shimada clan and Hanzo and Genji, which, again, ties in pretty nicely to what we know from Jeff Kaplan's statement talking about how the characters and environment of Kanezaka are important to the stories of Hanzo and Genji, as well as the Shimada clan and everything else that's going on in Japan right now. And one final bit of detail I want to focus on from this letter is it closes with, "I will close on the lighter note that I promised and say that I know if you were here you would remind me. The Kitsune can change your luck with a flick of even one of her tails. May she flick all 9 of them and send some much needed good fortune our way." So again, a direct reference to kitsunes, or foxes, with a specific emphasis on the kitsune being female. Is it any coincidence that all this seems to tie nice and neatly with what we already know about a female fox hero? Yeah, I'm willing to say at this point that it is 100% guaranteed that Kanezaka and this letter are teasing an upcoming fox-based hero. Now, one other interesting thing I want to consider is the timing of the release of this letter is very strange. Back when Overwatch consistently released new heroes, this would be the type of teaser we'd regularly see immediately leading up to the release of a new hero. And by leading up, I mean within a week of that hero being officially revealed and put on the PTR. But that doesn't really make a whole ton of sense. For example, we just got Kanezaka, or even at the time of me recording this, Kanezaka hasn't actually gone to live servers yet. Again, presumably that's going to be tomorrow. So for Blizzard to immediately afterwards release a new hero to PTR seems a bit strange. I'm not sure why they would cram all that content into such a small window. Given how little content we're getting these days, it seems like it would make more sense to space out Kanezaka and the new hero, even if they are tied pretty close together with the whole story and setting. And on top of that, we're going to be getting the new Tracer comic on Wednesday, so again, that's even more content crammed into this very specific window of time. And on top of all that even, only about a month from now, we're going to be getting BlizzCon Online, which, if you don't know, just so happens to be Blizzard's biggest event of the year and is usually when they reveal things like new heroes and other major content for the game. And based on how past new heroes have worked, typically they remain on the PTR for 3 to 4 weeks, which means that if this Fox Girl hero did end up being revealed sometime later this week or early next week, they would end up going live basically right when BlizzCon is, which again would be a weird overlap of content. So if I'm being honest, I definitely think this letter is meant to tease the new hero, but I'm not sure this is a hero we're going to be seeing right away. I guess in a worst case, least interesting scenario, this letter is just teasing the new map with the sort of hero teaser built into it for something we're going to end up seeing much later down the line, possibly not until even Overwatch 2 releases. But why would they put this much effort and this much detail into a teaser like this for just a new map? Not even a new normal map, this is just a deathmatch arcade map. As far as I can recall, Blizzard has never put this much teaser material into simply a new map. So admittedly, I'm a bit confused. Blizzard is doing something very intriguing right here with this latest teaser, and again, I do 100% think it's teasing a new hero, but I'm not sure when exactly we're going to end up seeing that new hero. Maybe they're on the immediate horizon, and by that I mean a week away? Or maybe this is just more of a long-term teaser that they're setting up with the new map and plan to finish paying off with maybe at BlizzCon they'll end up showing off the new hero and there'll be an Overwatch 1 hero that releases a couple weeks after BlizzCon. Or maybe this is just super long-term stuff where they're like, hey, this is some exciting thing coming in Overwatch 2, which, again, for what we know, is pretty much a year away at least. Whew, I don't think there's anything else I really have to say about this piece at the moment. Interestingly enough, I was actually working on a Hero Watch video for the Kanezaka Fox Girl, which I was originally planning to release later this week, but it looks like I'm gonna have to do some modifications to my script, seeing as all this new information was just released. So definitely stay tuned for that Hero Watch coming sooner rather than later, because I definitely want to give this hero, this letter, and this map the due attention it deserves. So again, stay tuned for that, and otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this bizarre new teaser we got just clear out of the blue, and let me know if you think this is teasing an imminent new hero, or if this is just building hype for the new deathmatch map. Either way, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe, follow me on Twitter, hit up that bell icon, and come join my Discord server to never miss any future Overwatch news and content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.